Bonrichi is my name, and if today is your first time of streaming my videos, please click on the bell button and the thumbs up so that anytime I make a new videos, you will be able to receive a notification to join me back. Okay, greetings to you, all of you again. Today's topic is drug addiction in Ghana. I'm here to give a big explanation concerning drug addiction in Ghana. According to Narcotic Control Board, into bracket NACOB, NACOB, about 50,000 people in Ghana, particularly the youth, abuse drugs, out of which 35,000 are students from junior or secondary schools and tertiary institutions. The three northern regions account for more than 50% of the reported usage. Drug addiction is very, very harmful to humanity. Drug addiction is very, very harmful to humanity. So whenever you find yourselves, you doesn't have to let this kind of drugs to control your life, because our lives are only one. Since God created us onto this world, our life is only one. So if you joke with it, then if the life walk away from you, you are going to be doomed. Okay, how to tell if someone is on drugs? Physical warning signs of drug abuse. 1. Bloodshot eyes. People larger or smaller than usual. If someone takes in drugs and you want to know the person that, oh, this person is taking in drugs, mostly their eyes becomes red like blood. So 2, changes in appetite or sleep patterns. Sometimes if some of the youth taking drugs such as cocaine, red, and so many, if the person taking the drugs, sometimes the person doesn't feel of sleeping or walking to one place to another. Sometimes they can just stand normally whilst they are sleeping. So these are some of the signs you can identify somebody if the person is on drugs or not. 3, running nose. Sometimes the nose of the person victim concerning of taking in drugs, their nose will be wet. Yeah, their nose will be wet. So these are some of the symptoms or signs a person can identify that this person is taking in drugs. Last but not the least, sudden weight loss or weight gain. If the person taking drugs, sometimes they reduce weight. So these are some of the symptoms concerning drugs. So the topic is how to tell if someone is on drugs. Okay. Is it a crime to be on drugs? It is a crime to be on drugs. Most directly, it is a crime to use, possess, manufacture, or distribute drugs classified as having a potential or abuse. These are some of the examples of drugs. cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and amphetamines are examples of drugs classified to have abuse potential. In this world, we came individually, so you doesn't have to allow somebody to control your life on drugs, because drugs can lead you to court, drugs can lead you to death, drugs can lead you to school dropout if only you are a student, and drugs can lead you to unemployment, or somebody can sack you from his or her company or from his or her job because of the drugs you are abusing of. Okay, what are the causes of drugs abuse in Ghana? What are the causes of drugs? Overall, it's not easy. Overall, the participants could identify why people use or abuse drugs from different perspectives, including ignorance at the individual level, family and peer pressure at the interpersonal level, lack of regulation at the organizational level, the availability of drugs, the cost of drugs, the media. Sometimes we the youths or we the teenagers, most of us used to watch videos, music videos, and other stuff. So let's say the person is not a victim of abusing drugs, but because the person is watching the television and so on, the person can be what? Be victim or falls into that act. Like let's say watching the video, hearing conversation from your friends and stuff. So definitely your mind can take it. So if you didn't force yourself to be controlled by yourself, you fall victim on drugs. And what I will tell you is that drug abuse is not good. Drug abuse is not good. Though we all taking drugs, but if you abuse it, example, if you go to hospital, then like you inform the doctor that you are sick, definitely the doctor will prescribe a medicine for you. Let's say in the morning you will take one daily, then you later forget what the doctor tells you, then you take in 5 daily. That means you are abusing the drugs. So please, this is one of the example. Then we are asking ourselves how to stop addiction to drugs. How can we stop addiction to drugs? Viewers, how can we stop addiction to drugs? So please, you can comment on the streaming platform for me to see. How can we stop addiction to drugs? 1, avoiding places where you know drugs and alcohol will be available. Avoiding places where you know drugs and alcohol will be available. You have to avoid yourself from any place, let's say hotels and so on. Then you find yourself that this place they are selling drugs or drugs are common there. You have to avoid yourself from there so that you will not be a victim of taking in drugs. 2, surrounding yourself with friends who don't use drugs. Surrounding yourself with friends who don't use drugs. Let's say you are not a victim of drugs, then your friends are not a victim of drugs. Definitely, you are not going to be part of those taking drugs. 3. Knowing how to resist temptation. Knowing how to resist temptation. Ntwi, yɛka ne sɛ deɛ ɛnam ne so asɛntidua ɛbɛba no ɔnwie. Ɔno nti sɛ yɛmfa ne sɛ wohyɛ wo ho so from taking in drugs, definitely you are not going to be a victim because you have made your mind that you are not going to try of taking in drugs. 4. Learning how to cope with stress and relax without drugs. Learning how to cope with stress and relax without drugs. Sometimes you have to be the master on your own. You have to be the master on your own. Control yourself because you own your life. That's why God created only you. Or that's why our names are not the same in this world. So you have to walk away from temptation so that at the end you live longer on earth. 5. Distracting yourself with activities like exercise or listening to music. Like me, let's say temptation is coming to my way of committing myself into a drugs. Then I tell myself that no, I will not allow this drug addiction or drug abuse to overcome me. So definitely I will be doing exercise, jogging, going here and there, listening to music like me, doing the music as a musician. So one of the music I'm creating is that one of the music I am still creating concerning drugs is that weed smoking is dangerous to your health. Marijuana is dangerous to your health. Alcoholism is dangerous to your health. If you see a do, opese wokwa etojiwa, opese wokwa etojiwa o. We smoking is dangerous to your health. Alcoholism is dangerous to your health. If you see a do, if you see a do, if you see a do, if you see a do. Another one. What is the punishment for taking drugs? What are the punishments of taking drugs? Let's say if someone abused of drugs, what are some of the punishments the nation or the government is going to give it to him or her? On summary, conviction for this offense, you are liable for Class C fine or a prison sentence of up to 12 months, meaning the government can punish you on going to prison for 12 months, meaning 1 year, or both. If you know are convicted on indictment, the court can decide on an appropriate fine or a prison sentence of up to 7 years or both. So let's say if you are addicted to drugs, then let's say that some of the government like police and stuff, if they see you that you have taken, let's say, weed, cocaine and stuff, definitely they can punish you by sentencing you into imprisonment for 7 years or both. So please, let's avoid abusing drugs, because if you take in drugs, it can lead you to death. then our lives is only one. So we doesn't have to joke with our life. Let us comport ourselves very well, because if you are addicted to drugs, let's say your life will be short. What countries have the death penalty for drugs? What countries have the death penalty for drugs? Severe or several countries enforce the death penalty for drugs-related offenses, led by nations such as Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Singapore. Around 35 countries retain capital punishment for drug trafficking or possession in their legal code. Through regular execution primarily occurs in a small subset of Asian and Middle Eastern nations. In all, please let us abstain ourselves from drugs. Drugs is very bad. Drugs can cause displacement to humanity. Let's say you are working as a banker or as an engineer, then you are on drugs. Let's say the owner or the manager of the company can sack you. I remember sometime way back in school, senior high, we went and do SLC, student representative something, SLC. Then because of peer pressure, peer influence and stuff, one of our friends went and take drugs. In our local dialect, they call it laku laku. The person taking the drugs, different, he take in weed and so many of drugs combined. So within a few minutes, the person lost his mental health. Yeah. So we went back to our hostel where we are staying. Then the person went to our hostel master to explain something to him. The person went close to the master. Then he was saying, you can't hear anything of what the person is saying, meaning the guy, it left with only few minutes for him to become mad because he has lost his senses. So please, drug addiction is very bad. Drug addiction cannot help humanity. Let's say in most video clips, music video clips and so on, or normal film, sometimes the actors or the musicians, they just intentionally use the drug, let's say smoke, to just do the video. And sometimes if they didn't take in the smoke and or the weed, some people will tell them, oh, you are not like when you MBA and stuff. You understand? Let's say because of the video they are shooting, that's why they intentionally use smoke or cigarette and stuff. So as an individual, you doesn't have to fall as a victim concerning the drugs. Let's say you doesn't have money. You are taking in weed. You are taking in, let's say, cigarettes and so many of drugs. You doesn't have money. Let's say you've taken the weed. From there, you doesn't have money to eat. But the artist or the musician or the big dignitaries, let's say they are on that prescribed or the prescription. Definitely, they will take in the cocaine, cigarette, and so on. So from there, they can just go to a doctor for medication because they are having money. But you doesn't have money, then you are on drugs. You are very funny, and I think it will not going to help you in the future. So please, let's put a stop to that. Born Richie is my name. If today is your first time streaming with me on my platform, subscribe so that As time goes on, whenever I bring an interesting topic, an entertainment freestyle of music of mine, you will be able to get a notification from me. Thank you very much and have a nice day or night. Thank you.